lot of people have been kind of echoing that they're afraid of Jayden Daniels because he reminds them of me.
Comes down to one last play, and it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught!
12.7 seconds. That's how long Jayden Daniels held onto the football before launching one of the most improbable touchdown passes in NFL history. With the game on the line and his team trailing by 3 and just 2 seconds left on the clock, this rookie quarterback pulled off a miracle. At this moment, this Hail Mary that sent Washington into a frenzy, it was just the exclamation point on the greatest rookie quarterback season of all time.
Going back to Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, is he the best quarterback in the NFC?
Man, there's a kid in Washington.
Thank you.
This is the story of how a kid from San Bernardino went from heartbreak to history, from tragedy to triumph.
It is my great pleasure to announce that the 2023 Heisman Trophy winner is Jayden Daniels.
The Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels.
I can't get over all the great decisions from Jayden Daniels.
Jayden Daniels is the reason Washington Commanders are in this spot.
His journey will leave you speechless, so buckle up because Jayden Daniels had a rookie season for the ages. Jayden Daniels was born on December 18, 2000 in Fontana, California, but raised in San Bernardino. His father, Javon J. Daniels, had played college football as a cornerback for the Washington Huskies and Iowa State Cyclones in the late 90s. His mother, Regina Jackson, would later become his business manager and even earned her NFLPA certification as an agent in 2024. But young Jayden wasn't handed anything. At Cajun High School, he played through wrist and thumb injuries his first 2 years, but despite these setbacks, Daniels put together one of the most prolific high school careers in California history. Nearly 10,000 passing yards and 122 touchdown passes. But as both a junior and senior, his team lost in the state championship game.
If you could relive one moment in your entire football career, middle school, Pop Warner, high school, obviously college, what game would you go back to and relive?
2017 state championship game.
What happened?
I won, so CIF in California, I won CIF state championship game. We ended up losing, so I want to go get that moment back.
What were your stats that game?
I think I had 300 passing, 300 rushing. Something crazy.
And so college scouts saw something special, a skinny kid with unmatched footwork and an unbreakable will. Daniels became friends with 2 other high-profile prospects, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. You've probably heard of them both. And so going into the college recruitment process, Daniels was considered a dual-threat quarterback who received 25 scholarship offers from places like Alabama, Florida, UCLA, USC, and Georgia, before he finally chose Arizona State to stay on the West Coast.
Without further ado, for the next couple of years, I'll be taking my talents to Arizona State University.
He graduated high school early to enroll and participate in spring practice, showing the same dedication that would define his entire career. Little did anybody know, his college journey would test him in ways that nobody could ever imagine. At Arizona State, Daniels became an immediate starter as a freshman for the Sun Devils. No small feat in college football. In 2019, he threw 17 touchdowns and 2,900 passing yards while rushing for 355 more and 3 touchdowns on the ground, setting the school record for passing yards by a freshman.
Sacramento State hadn't scored, but now they've scored. Now it's time to make a play, and that's what Daniels does.
It's a 40-plus play lost. Offensive line again gives Daniels time, and he has another open man. This one hauled in. Here's Daniels on third, and he hits Ayuk. Is he gone? Yes! ASU on the board.
That season, he then led the Sun Devils to a Sun Bowl victory over Florida State, earning MVP honors. But in 2020, COVID-19 limited the season to just 4 games. Then came 2021, when tragedy struck. Both of Jayden's grandparents, William and Betty Daniels, died from COVID-19. The grief was overwhelming. Combined with Arizona State's ongoing NCAA troubles regarding recruiting violations, Daniels struggled through the worst season of his football career. But you're gonna start realizing this is a theme of Jayden Daniels' story, because sometimes the biggest setbacks set up the greatest comebacks. In March 2022, Jayden Daniels made a decision that would change everything. He transferred to LSU, looking for a more stable environment with increased visibility. In Baton Rouge, he found what Arizona State couldn't provide: elite talent around him, including wide receivers Kayshon Boutte, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. LSU also gave Jayden a chance at redemption, and the transformation was immediate. That season against the number 7 ranked Ole Miss Rebels, he threw 2 touchdown passes and ran for over 100 yards, handing Ole Miss their first loss of this season. The next week, come on, he outdueled Alabama in overtime.
Keeper escapes, makes a cut. Daniels in space. He'll score! Daniels for the win. Caught! It's good! LSU does it!
Then came 2023, where Daniels was named team captain, and with it, excellence. Daniels tied the LSU record that year, held by Joe Burrow, with 8 total touchdowns against Georgia State, throwing 6 and rushing for 2 more. For the season, he threw for 40 touchdowns, insane, and rushed for 10 more on the ground, leading the NCAA with nearly 5,000 total yards while setting the single-season passer rating record at 208.01. And so, of course, the awards quickly followed. Walter Camp Award, Davey O'Brien Award, Manning Award, and of course, the Heisman Trophy, making him the 3rd LSU player to win the Heisman after Billy Cannon in 1959 and Burrow in 2019. Daniels had cemented himself as a college football legend, going from heartbreak to Heisman. But the ultimate test still awaited. Could this kid from San Bernardino really make the same magic happen in the NFL?
Now we have the Commanders on the clock looking to take a quarterback 2nd overall for the first time since Robert Griffin III in 2012. Who's going to be the pick here? Will it be another Heisman winner?
It's Jayden, Adam Peters from the Commanders. How you doing, man? I just couldn't be more impressed, and I couldn't be more proud to pick you to represent our franchise. So congratulations, man.
With the 2nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
On April 25th, 2024, the Washington Commanders selected Jayden Daniels with the 2nd overall pick in the NFL Draft. And before Daniels came to Washington, you gotta understand the Commanders' quarterback landscape was inconsistent, to say the least. What was once a premier franchise in the 80s and 90s had turned into a laughingstock in the nation's capital.
The Redskins organization right now is a mess. There's no way around it. It's not just this year. Since Dan Snyder bought this once proud franchise, the Skins are 33 games below 500. Snyder's had 5 different head coaches. Count them: Marty Schottenheimer, Steve Spurrier, Joe Gibbs, Jim Zorn, and now Mike Shanahan.
Years and years of turmoil under former owner Dan Snyder, coupled with failures at the quarterback position, had left a proud fan base desperate for a savior. So between that and all of the awards and accolades Daniels had already achieved, the expectations were sky high.
There was a certain kind of energy around the fact that as we saw him getting off the plane, Jayden Daniels is here in the building.
How y'all doing? I appreciate Mr. Harris, Adam and DQ, man, for believing in me, giving me the opportunity to live on my childhood dream. And I just can't wait to get to work. That's the biggest thing. And thank God, I wouldn't be here without them. And thank you to my family, supporting me, believing me and sacrificing me. I appreciate it.
But nobody, and I mean nobody, could have predicted what happened next.
Down and goal. You wonder if this is 4-down territory at this point. Daniels given time. He's got a man for a touchdown. And 3rd and 4. Daniels pumps. Field is open. He will take it. Running for a first down into Tampa territory. Tiptoeing down the sidelines. And he caught the sideline out of bounds at the Tampa 36.
2 rushing touchdowns in week 1, a win over the division rival Giants in week 2, and then entering his first career primetime game in week 3 against fellow LSU legend Joe Burrow and a Cincinnati Bengals team that was 0-2 and desperate for a win. Nobody believed the Commanders' cute fairy tale would continue under the bright lights. Wow, how they were wrong. The 2 Heisman winners dueled back and forth all game. The 2 teams combined to go 4-4 on 4th down and score 71 total points. But none of those points were more important than the last 7 for Washington. An absolutely unreal touchdown throw to Terry McLaurin iced the game in the clutch and put the Bengals away for good.
They asked McCaffrey doesn't know what the play is, neither does Ertz, but they got to snap it on a 3rd and 7, and they do. Bengals bring the house. Jayden loads one up for McLaurin in the end zone. Did he catch it? He did! Touchdown! Touchdown Washington! Unreal!
So fast forward a couple weeks, and through his first 5 games, Daniels became the first player in NFL history to pass for at least 1,000 yards and rush for at least 250. The Commanders became the first team in the Super Bowl era to score at least 150 points in their first 5 games while starting a rookie quarterback. Had set the NFL on fire. But it was week 8 against the Chicago Bears that turned Daniels from rookie sensation into a budding NFL legend. Daniels already had the nation's capital buzzing with a 5-2 record and a season's worth of highlights. But facing Caleb Williams, the quarterback selected over him in the draft, while playing through a rib injury that had Daniels' status questionable until game day, the Commanders trailed 15-12 with 23 seconds left. Chicago had just taken their first lead of the game. Most rookies would panic. Most veterans would panic. Jayden Daniels? As cool as it gets. With 2 seconds on the clock from his own 48-yard line, Daniels scrambled for 12.79 seconds, the longest time to throw for any touchdown pass in the next-gen stats era. He ran over 40 yards behind the line of scrimmage, then launched a roughly 65-yard bomb that was tipped by a Bears defender and fell perfectly into Noah Brown's hands for a 52-yard game-winning Hail Mary touchdown.
Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line.
And he did all of this with injured ribs. But that was just the beginning, because Daniels finished his rookie season with 12 touchdown passes in the 4th quarter and overtime, the most by a rookie in NFL history. But where it gets even crazier, 5 of those touchdown passes came in the final 30 seconds of regulation or overtime, more than any quarterback, rookie or veteran, had achieved in any single season since the 1970 merger. Tom Brady never did this. Peyton Manning never did this. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Joe Montana, Pat Mahomes, none of them had ever had 5 touchdown passes in the final 30 seconds of games in a single season. So fast forward a couple months to week 16. The Commanders all of a sudden were 9-5 and had their eyes on not just the playoffs, but a division title. And the team ahead of them in the NFC East, Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles, who had beaten them back in week 11. Week 16 was the chance for redemption. The Commanders had turned the ball over 5 times in this game and trailed 21-7 after the first quarter. But you know what we say about this team in 4th quarters. The Commanders came back in 6 seconds left in the game. Daniels finds Jamison Crowder in the corner of the end zone to complete another impossible comeback. Final score, Commanders 36, Eagles 33. If you're still not convinced, well, finally the next week in week 17, the Falcons came back to tie the game late in the 4th quarter and send it into overtime. Roles reversed. But in overtime, on Sunday Night Football, with the season on the line and a shot at the playoffs, Jayden Daniels was the quarterback who once again was magic.
2 tight ends to the left. Here's the snap. Jayden's going to throw forward. He does. Into the end zone.
What a catch.
Second! Who wants to go to the playoffs? Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! They win in overtime! We'll see you in the postseason!
But it wasn't just the touchdown passes. It was how he delivered them. Time and time again, ice in his veins, perfect mechanics under pressure, the poise of a 10-year veteran in the body of a 24-year-old rookie. The final numbers for the season were staggering. 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and just 9 interceptions, with a completion percentage of 69%, all while adding nearly 900 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. The 891 rushing yards set the NFL rookie quarterback record, and his 69% completion percentage was the highest by a rookie in NFL history. But could this rookie carry that magic into the playoffs? The stage was about to get much, much bigger.
You guys win on Sunday. I'm sure you know it'll be the first playoff win for this franchise since the 2005 season. If you can deliver that to the fan base, to this area, what would that mean to you guys?
For the fan base, everything they've been through and their time being here, the fan base deserves to be able to cheer for the team in the playoffs. We appreciate the support through it all.
Going into the playoffs, the Commanders had a 12-5 record, their best as a franchise since 1991, and entered the playoffs as a 6th seed. Nobody gave them much of a chance. Nobody except the kid wearing number 5. In the wild card round on the road against Tampa Bay, the same team that had beaten them back in week 1, Daniels completed 24 of 35 passes for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. And in what was a tough back and forth duel with another former Heisman winner in Baker Mayfield, the game was tied late and came down to the final minutes, giving Jayden the chance to do what he'd done best all season.
Daniels escapes and runs for the first down.
Pandemonium. Zane Gonzalez doinks in the kick, and Washington had its first playoff win since 2005. 1 week later, they traveled to Detroit, Michigan to face the top-seeded Lions, who had gone 15-2 in the regular season. And almost immediately, you could tell the Commanders were here to break hearts. Daniels threw for 299 yards and 2 touchdowns with, once again, no interceptions, and a stunning 45-31 upset, shocking the NFL world.
Snap to Daniels, quick throw to the opposite side. Terry McLaurin got through 2 defenders, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, foot race at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! Unreal run by McLaurin!
Think about this. This was a team that had won 3 games the prior season, and all of a sudden they were now 1 win from the Super Bowl. The Commanders hadn't reached the NFC Championship game since 1991, and now all they had to do was get through their bitter rivals on the road in arguably the most hostile environment in football. But unfortunately, we wish we could tell you the story of another legendary game from Daniels and the underdog Commanders. But you know what they say, all good things must come to an end. Philly blew out the Commanders with a 55-23 victory, in large part due to fumbles and penalties by the Commanders, and yeah, Saquon Barkley doing Saquon Barkley things. But nothing could diminish what Daniels had accomplished. In the NFC Championship game, Daniels set another rookie playoff record, becoming the rookie with the most passing yards in playoff history, surpassing Russell Wilson's mark from 2012. By the end of the playoffs, he had completed 75 of 114 passes for 822 yards and 5 touchdowns, with just 1 interception. And to cap it off, the hardware followed. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year with 49 of 50 first place votes. PFWA Rookie of the Year. Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Year. He joined Dak Prescott and Ben Roethlisberger as the only rookie quarterback since 1935 to win 12 games and become just the 5th rookie in NFL history to record 30 total touchdowns. So here's the thing, when you ask anybody from the DMV what made Daniels' rookie season so great, they actually probably won't say the playoff run. They won't say the Hail Mary versus the Bears, they won't say the touchdown against the Bengals, they won't even say all of the awards and the accolades. They'll say how number 5 reinvigorated the fan base and gave hope to the team for the first time since RG3 over a decade prior. And that's what makes Daniels so special. From a heartbroken kid who lost his grandparents and struggled through the worst season of his career at Arizona State, to the Heisman Trophy winner who threw the Hail Mary heard around the world, Jayden Daniels' story isn't just about football. It's about resilience. It's about how champions respond to adversity and stay cool under pressure. In just 1 season, this 24-year-old has rewritten the record books, restored hope to a franchise, and reminded us all why we love sports. There's a kid in Washington, and he's just getting started.